In the bright lights of a bustling ITV studio one crisp morning, the atmosphere buzzed with anticipation as the legendary Sir Cliff Richard, Britain's eternal pop icon with a career spanning over 6 decades, settled into the comfortable guest chair on Lorraine Kelly's popular morning show. The veteran presenter, known for her warm Scottish charm and easygoing interviews that often touched on celebrity lives with a light touch, welcomed him with her signature smile and a cup of tea ready on the side table. Cliff, dressed impeccably in a sharp suit that reflected his timeless style, had come prepared to discuss his latest musical projects, reflections on his long journey from the 1950s rock and roll scene to knighted status, and perhaps a few nostalgic stories about hits like Living Doll and Congratulations. Little did the audience or the production team realize that this seemingly routine segment would erupt into one of the most talked about clashes in daytime television history. As the cameras rolled live, Lorraine steered the conversation toward more personal territory, gently probing into aspects of Cliff's past that had long been subjects of public scrutiny, including old allegations that had once cast shadows over his pristine image but were later resolved without charges. Cliff maintained his composure at first, his famous boyish grin flashing as he deflected with practiced elegance, sharing anecdotes about his faith, his love for tennis, and the joy of performing for fans across generations. However, the tone shifted subtly when Lorraine pressed further, referencing archived news clips and asking pointed questions that felt to Cliff like an ambush rather than a friendly chat. Viewers at home began sensing the tension building, with social media already lighting up with comments wondering if the interview was veering into uncomfortable waters. The studio crew exchanged glances, unsure whether to intervene as the exchange grew more intense, highlighting the delicate balance between journalistic curiosity and respecting the guest's boundaries on live television. This moment captured the evolving dynamics of celebrity interviews in an era where past controversies are never truly forgotten, and even beloved figures like Cliff Richard could find themselves navigating tricky conversational minefields. The initial warmth of the set started to cool rapidly as words were chosen more carefully, yet the underlying friction simmered just beneath the surface, setting the stage for an unexpected escalation that would leave millions stunned. As the interview progressed beyond the initial pleasantries, Lorraine Kelly leaned forward with her characteristic directness, her years of experience in morning television guiding her to dig deeper into topics that many other hosts might have skirted around politely. She brought up the well-documented period in Cliff Richard's life when he faced serious allegations related to historical claims, which had led to a high-profile police raid on his home and intense media coverage before the case was dropped with no further action. Cliff, who had always maintained his innocence and often spoke about the emotional toll such accusations took on his private life and career, responded with measured firmness, emphasizing how the ordeal had strengthened his resolve and deepened his Christian faith that had been a cornerstone since his conversion in the 1960s. The conversation turned fiery when Lorraine referenced specific details from old reports and asked if he felt the entertainment industry had changed and how it handled such matters today, a question that seemed to strike a nerve with the 85-year-old superstar. Cliff's voice rose slightly, his usual calm demeanor cracking as he pointed out what he perceived as unfair persistence on cleared matters, arguing that true journalism should focus on his contributions to music rather than rehashing resolved issues that had caused him significant distress and legal battles. The studio audience, a mix of loyal fans and casual viewers, shifted uncomfortably in their seats while the live feed captured every nuance of the growing discomfort. Producers behind the scenes whispered urgently into earpieces, debating whether to cut to a commercial break or allow the natural flow of debate to continue. As ratings soared with the unexpected drama unfolding, Cliff gestured animatedly, defending his legacy as one of the UK's most successful solo artists with over 250 million records sold worldwide, insisting that his clean living image was not a facade but a genuine reflection of his values. Lorraine, maintaining her professional poise, countered by suggesting that open discussion helped audiences understand the full picture of public figures, but her words only fueled the intensity as Cliff accused the segment of crossing into sensationalism. Social media exploded in real time with divided opinions, some praising Lorraine for bold interviewing while others rallied behind Cliff, calling for respect toward an elder statesman of British entertainment. The clash highlighted broader debates about accountability, forgiveness, and the power of media in shaping or reshaping narratives around celebrities who had endured public trials by fire. Tension thickened the air, making the once relaxed set feel like a battlefield of wits and principles. The fiery exchange reached a boiling point when Cliff Richard, clearly agitated by the direction of the questioning, stood up abruptly from his chair mid-sentence, his face flushed with a mix of frustration and determination that contrasted sharply with his usually affable public persona. He directly addressed Lorraine, stating that he had come to celebrate music and positivity but felt the interview had devolved into an unfair inquisition that disregarded the facts of his exoneration and the years he had spent rebuilding after the ordeal. Lorraine attempted to calm the situation with her trademark empathy, extending a hand and suggesting they move on to lighter topics like his upcoming tour or favorite memories from performing at Wimbledon, but Cliff was resolute, shaking his head and declaring that enough was enough for the sake of his dignity and mental peace. The moment the words "I think it's best I leave now" escaped his lips, the control room scrambled as the director signaled for cameras to follow the unfolding drama without cutting away. Knowing this raw authenticity would captivate viewers glued to their screens across the UK and beyond, studio security hovered nearby but did not intervene immediately, respecting the live nature of the broadcast while ensuring safety amid the heightened emotions. Cliff walked off the set with purposeful strides, his departure captured in a viral clip that would rack up millions of views within hours, sparking hashtags like #CliffWalksOut and #LorraineClash trending instantly. Back at the desk, Lorraine composed herself quickly, addressing the audience with a composed apology for any discomfort while defending her role as a presenter who asks the tough questions that viewers often wonder about. Experts later analyzed the incident as a classic example of generational and cultural clashes in media, where an older icon accustomed to more deferential treatment meets a modern host trained to probe persistently. Fans of Cliff flooded comment sections with support, sharing stories of how his music had soundtracked their lives and arguing that past allegations, once dismissed, should not define a man's entire legacy. Meanwhile, supporters of Lorraine highlighted the importance of transparency in celebrity culture, noting that morning shows thrive on authentic moments rather than scripted fluff. The production team issued a brief statement afterward, acknowledging the unexpected turn while praising both parties for their passion, though insiders revealed behind-the-scenes efforts to smooth relations post-broadcast. This dramatic exit not only boosted the show's visibility but also reignited public conversations about how far interviewers should go when discussing sensitive chapters in a guest's history. The entire sequence unfolded in under a minute yet echoed for days in newspapers, podcasts, and online forums dissecting every word and gesture. Following Cliff Richard's abrupt departure from the Lorraine Kelly Show set, the immediate aftermath saw a whirlwind of reactions pouring in from all corners of the entertainment world and beyond, turning what might have been a forgotten segment into a national talking point that dominated headlines for weeks. Fellow celebrities weighed in on social platforms, with some expressing solidarity with Cliff by sharing their own experiences of feeling ambushed during promotional interviews, while others commended Lorraine for maintaining composure under pressure and sticking to her journalistic instincts. Media analysts pored over the footage frame by frame, debating whether the clash stemmed from poor preparation by the production team, an intentional provocative angle to generate buzz, or simply the natural collision of two strong personalities with differing views on public accountability. Cliff's management released a dignified statement shortly after the broadcast, explaining that the singer had felt compelled to stand up for himself against what he viewed as repetitive and hurtful dredging up of matters long put to rest by authorities, reaffirming his commitment to focusing on positive contributions through charity work, music releases, and inspiring younger artists. Lorraine, in subsequent episodes, addressed the incident lightly but firmly, noting that her show aimed to provide a platform for open dialogue and that sometimes such conversations reveal deeper truths about resilience and moving forward. Viewers tuned in droves to catch replays or extended discussions on rival programs, with many praising the raw human element that daytime television rarely captured so vividly. The event prompted broader reflections within the industry about guest vetting processes, the ethics of revisiting dropped cases in entertainment contexts, and the fine line between informative interviewing and perceived harassment. Younger audiences, less familiar with Cliff's storied career, discovered his vast catalog of hits through the controversy, leading to a noticeable surge in streaming numbers for classics like We Don't Talk Anymore and Devil Woman. Older fans, meanwhile, organized online petitions urging more respectful treatment of national treasures who had given decades of joy without major scandals beyond the resolved allegations. ITV executives reportedly held internal reviews to refine protocols for handling high-profile guests with complex backstories, ensuring future segments balanced entertainment with sensitivity. The clash also sparked academic discussions in media studies courses about power dynamics between hosts and interviewees, especially when age, fame, and past traumas intersect. Ultimately, the incident underscored the unpredictable nature of live television, where prepared scripts can dissolve into authentic confrontations that resonate far beyond the studio walls, reminding everyone involved that real emotions and principles often override polished production values. In the days and weeks following the explosive clash on Lorraine Kelly's show, Sir Cliff Richard channeled the experience into renewed creative energy, announcing plans for a reflective album that touched on themes of forgiveness, perseverance, and the healing power of music, which many interpreted as a subtle response to the on-air tension. His loyal fan base, spanning multiple generations from baby boomers who grew up with his early hits to newer converts drawn by the media storm, rallied around him with sold-out concert dates and heartfelt messages of support flooding his official channels. Lorraine Kelly continued her morning broadcasts with her usual warmth and professionalism, occasionally fielding light-hearted questions from guests about handling tricky interviews, always responding with grace and a touch of humor to diffuse any lingering awkwardness from the incident. Industry insiders revealed that off-camera communications between the two parties' teams helped mend fences privately, leading to mutual acknowledgments of respect despite the public disagreement, illustrating how such high-visibility moments can sometimes foster understanding behind the scenes. The viral nature of the clip, shared across platforms like YouTube, TikTok, and Twitter with millions of views and endless commentary threads, highlighted the shifting landscape of celebrity culture where one unscripted minute could eclipse months of carefully curated promotions. Commentators drew parallels to other memorable television walk-offs in history, positioning this event as a modern addition to the canon of unforgettable live TV drama that reveals the humanity beneath the glamour. Discussions extended into legal and ethical realms, with experts examining the implications of discussing dropped allegations on air and the potential emotional impact on individuals who had already endured official investigations and media trials. Cliff's enduring popularity proved resilient, as evidenced by increased media appearances where he focused steadfastly on his artistic legacy, charitable endeavors supporting children's causes and disaster relief, and his passion for maintaining an active lifestyle well into his later years. Lorraine's show experienced a temporary ratings boost from the controversy, attracting curious new viewers eager to see how she navigated subsequent high-profile interviews with heightened awareness. Broader societal conversations emerged around the balance between public interest and personal privacy, especially for figures like Cliff, who had built careers on wholesome appeal amid an increasingly scrutiny-heavy media environment. The entire episode served as a poignant reminder that even icons with decades of goodwill can face moments of challenge, yet their responses often reinforce the very qualities that endeared them to audiences in the first place: dignity, conviction, and an unwavering commitment to authenticity. As time passed, the fiery clash evolved from a shocking headline into a cultural touchstone illustrating the complexities of fame in the digital age. Reflecting on the dramatic events of that memorable morning on Lorraine Kelly's show, the entertainment industry as a whole gained valuable insights into the delicate art of conducting interviews with legendary figures whose lives have been lived under constant public gaze, prompting many producers to rethink their approach to sensitive topics and guest comfort levels. Cliff Richard emerged from the experience with his reputation largely intact, his graceful handling of the situation earning admiration from peers who recognized the courage it took to prioritize self-respect over promotional obligations. further cementing his status as a class act in British show business. Lorraine Kelly, ever the consummate professional, used the opportunity to demonstrate her ability to recover from unexpected disruptions while maintaining the engaging style that had made her a staple of morning television for years, continuing to deliver content that blended celebrity news, lifestyle tips, and heartfelt stories with her distinctive flair. The incident fueled ongoing debates in media circles about responsibility, redemption, and the role of television in either perpetuating or resolving narratives around public figures, encouraging more nuanced discussions that consider context, timing, and emotional well-being alongside the pursuit of compelling viewing. Fans on both sides found common ground in appreciating the passion displayed by both individuals, recognizing that such clashes, while uncomfortable in the moment, contribute to the rich tapestry of live broadcasting that keeps audiences invested and talking long after the credits roll. As Cliff prepared for future performances and possibly even a reflective documentary exploring his remarkable journey from humble beginnings in India to global stardom, the lessons from the Lorraine showdown lingered as a testament to resilience in the face of adversity. The event also inspired aspiring presenters and journalists to study the balance between probing questions and empathetic listening, ensuring that future interviews honor the complexity of human stories without unnecessary confrontation. In the end, what began as a potential promotional appearance is transformed into a defining cultural moment that showcased the enduring appeal of authentic exchanges, even when they turned fiery, and reinforced why figures like Cliff Richard and hosts like Lorraine Kelly continue to captivate audiences through their unwavering commitment to their crafts. The story of that clash serves as an enduring reminder that television, at its best, mirrors real life with all its unpredictability, emotions, and opportunities for growth, leaving a lasting impact that extends far beyond a single broadcast.